Okay, ladies and gents, this is the last step in my series on how to draw buttons and navbars. This is step 4, how to make your own submenus, your own custom submenus from buttons that you've drawn yourself. Um, if I were to go to this website here that I started in the last tutorial, um, you'll notice if I preview it that this is the navbar that I set up before, yeah, with the submenu that I also set up. And you'll notice that these are, the submenu is very flat in that you can only use flat colors. You can't use any gradients in these buttons down below. And that's all well and good. I mean, they serve their purpose, but they don't, they're not very attractive to me. I like the ability to make something unique and not just these flat colors here. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I've created this navbar here with my stretchy buttons from before. And I'll show you how I did that. This is not a navbar, conventional navbar that I showed you, like I showed you in the last tutorial. These are just individual buttons. So I've deleted that last button. I'm going to go ahead and right-click on this last button here, this contact button, and I'm going to bring it over until it's exactly flush with that, with the button before it. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight it and type in my wedding photos. And go ahead and hit the right arrow twice to create my 2 pixel spacing between each of these buttons. Now you'll notice that there is a difference in the length of this navbar to the length in this navbar, and that's for a couple of different reasons. One, there's a difference in how the buttons are stretched via Xara's navbar tool, yeah, and the way a stretchy button stretches things. Also, you'll notice that my buttons have a uniform 2 pixel space between each of them. And even though up here I designated a 2 pixel space between each button, there is more space here than there is here. That's probably because this particular button doesn't end in an even pixel. It's ends in, you know, a point some odd number of pixels, and that affects the spacing between each. And that's one of the reasons I like this better, is because you have complete control over it. So the next thing I need to do is show you how to build your custom navbar. And I'm going to do that with using this button here. And I'm going to change this a little bit. Obviously, it's very large. I'm going to change it down to about 30 pixels, which is what I set these up to be. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to leave that for now. That's well and good. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create 2 new layers. The first layer I'm going to name mouse off Xara, and I'm going to press new layer again and type in mouse over Xara. You can name the button these 2 layers anything you want, as long as it is prefaced with mouse off and mouse over, and they need to be in this order: mouse off below, mouse over above. Okay. The Xara bit, you can name anything you want. You can name it Peggy and Sue if you like, but as long as it makes sense to you. Yeah. So now I'm going to click on my mouse off layer, and I want to draw a rectangle here, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle, whatever size I want, and line it up with the bottom and the edge of this Xara button here. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a flat gray color. Yeah. Then I'm going to take my button and I'm going to remove my soft group. Control Alt U will remove the soft group. Hold on, I'm going to apply it back again real quick. I just want to show you. Down here, 2 groups in a soft group on 2 layers. Control Alt U changes that to just 2 groups on 2 layers. Okay? Just to show you that what I'm doing is actually doing something. Then I'm going to deselect it and select the top layer, which is 1 group on mouse over. and I'm going to press Control X, which will delete that layer, or that button on that layer, or the group on the layer, if you will. Then I'm going to go up to my mouse over Xara layer and press Control Shift V to paste in place. Okay, now I have one group on mouse over Xara. Now I'm going to go ahead and hide and lock that for now, because I want to get to what's underneath it, which is this button on this one group on mouse off, on the mouse off layer. Now I'm going to do the same thing to it. I'm going to press Control X to delete it, and I'm going to go up to my mouse off Xara layer and press Control Shift V, and now you see I have one group on mouse off Xara. Now if I remove the hide and lock for that top layer and drag select both of them, you can see I have two groups on two layers. I'm going to reapply my soft group. Control Alt G reapplies the soft group, two groups on in a soft group on two layers. Yeah, perfect. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font size on this because I want it to be a bit smaller than what I have set up here. I'm going to change it to be 16, and I want to make sure. See, you have to watch these sometimes. Sometimes, even though they're soft grouped, you have to change the font size on both of them. So I've changed the font size to 16 on both of these layers. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to hide that. And now that I've done that, I'm going to take my button and I'm going to move it up to, and position it where I want on this layer. And I'm just going to use my arrow keys a little bit to set things where I want them. I'm going to go ahead and narrow this bounding box behind it, the background on this mouse over layer. Perfect. Set it up just like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and change the text on my button. So the first one I want to be Xara.com. Yeah. And now I'm going to Control K to clone that, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key and press the down arrow key while holding the Shift key 3 times. 1, 2, 3, because this is 30 pixels high, and that's going to move it exactly 30 pixels. And now I want to separate it by 2, so I'm going to press down the down arrow without holding the Shift key 2 more times. 1, 2. So that gives me like 2 pixel space between the two. Yeah? And on this one, I'm going to change what it says to Xara users. Users. Perfect. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to press Control K, hold the Shift key down, press the down arrow key 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Let up on the Shift key, press the down arrow key 2 more times. 1, 2. And I'm going to change the text on this to be Talk Graphics. Perfect, and then I can readjust my background box on here to be exactly 120 pixels. Yeah, and perfect. That's exactly how I want it to be. Yeah, and I may change this to be 203 pixels wide. And there we go. Perfect. You can play with that to get it exactly to whole pixels, but that's all there is to that. Now that I have my mouse off Xara and mouse over Xara set up, and you can check these out by just toggling the viewable thing right there on one of those layers. Then the next thing I have to do is set up the behavior of this Xara button. So I want to change the link, so I'm going to press click on it and press change, or click on change, and it'll bring up this the link properties. Well, I don't want the link to actually do anything. Now I could set it up to do something if I want to, but for now I'm just going to set it up to do nothing. And I'm going to go to the mouse over tab, and I want it to show a pop-up layer. And I'm going to show my pop-ups by clicking this down arrow, and I want it to show the mouse off Xara layer. I don't want any effects for now, and I'm just going to press apply. Now, when I preview my site and I I go from any one of these or go directly to this Xara button, you can see that that pops up and that each of these buttons works as you would expect them to. And they're not flat. They're you know, graphically pleasing. They fit within the rest of the site, and you know, it makes more sense with the way I want my website to look. In any case, that's how you do it. I hope that didn't go too long, and we will see you back for the next tutorial.